My child, before you continue listening, I ask you to quiet your heart for just a moment. There are many voices speaking into your life every single day, but only one voice truly knows the path you were created to walk. If these words have reached you today, it is not because of coincidence. It is because I have been calling you long before you realized you were searching for me. I knew this moment before you were born. I knew every step that would lead you here, every question hidden inside your heart, every burden you have carried without telling another soul. Nothing about your life has ever been hidden from me. I have watched you through every season. I saw the days when your faith was strong and the nights when it almost disappeared. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone else noticed. I heard the prayers you whispered when your voice could barely find the strength to speak. I even understood the prayers that never became words because your heart was too weary to express them. You have never been alone even when loneliness convinced you otherwise. I have remained beside you through every disappointment, every unanswered question, every closed door, and every painful goodbye. Today I am not speaking to entertain you. I am not speaking to give you temporary comfort that fades when this message ends. I am speaking because I love you, and my love will never allow me to remain silent when my child is approaching a season that requires greater wisdom. What I am about to reveal is not meant to fill your heart with fear. It is meant to prepare you throughout history. I have always warned my people before great change arrived. I warned Noah before the flood. I warned Joseph before the years of famine. I warned my prophets before kingdoms rose and fell. My warnings have never been signs that I wanted people to suffer. They have always been invitations to prepare, to return, and to trust me more deeply. Many people have mistaken my patience for silence. They believe that because judgment has not come immediately, they can continue living however they choose. They have allowed comfort to replace conviction. They have accepted distraction instead of devotion. They have filled their minds with endless noise until they no longer recognize my voice. When I call their name, this is one of the greatest dangers of your generation. The world has become louder than ever before, yet hearts have become emptier than ever before. People search for peace in places where peace has never existed. They chase approval from strangers while ignoring the one who formed them before they entered this world. My child, I did not bring you here to become another voice lost in the crowd. I created you with purpose. I placed gifts inside you before your first breath. I wrote your story long before anyone knew your name. The enemy has tried to convince you that your life is ordinary, that your prayers make no difference, that your failures have defined your future. Those lies have been repeated so often that there were moments when you almost believed them. But lies do not become truth simply because they are repeated. My truth has never changed. You are still known. You are still loved. You are still called according to my purpose. Perhaps you have noticed that something has been changing within you. There have been moments when the things that once satisfied you no longer seem enough. There have been times when you felt an unexpected longing for something deeper, something eternal, something that this world could never provide. That longing did not come from your imagination. I placed it there. I have been awakening your spirit little by little, preparing you for a season that cannot be entered with a distracted heart. Before I reveal greater things, I must first draw you closer to me. Before I open new doors, I must strengthen the one who will walk through them. Do not mistake my quietness for absence. Some of my greatest works begin in silence. A seed grows beneath the soil long before anyone sees the first leaf. The dawn begins long before the sun appears above the horizon. In the same way, I have been working beneath the surface of your life. While you believed nothing was happening, I was arranging what you could not see. While you questioned my timing, I was protecting you from seasons you were not yet prepared to enter. My delays have never been denials. They have been expressions of my wisdom. There is a reason the battle has become more intense. There is a reason discouragement has tried so hard to settle over your mind. There is a reason confusion has attempted to steal your peace. The enemy recognizes movement before you do. He notices growth before you see it yourself. He understands that if you fully discover who I created you to become, his influence over your life will begin to crumble. That is why he fills your mind with doubt. That is why he whispers that you are forgotten. That is why he wants you to believe you have already missed your opportunity. His greatest weapon has never been his strength. it has always been deception. Do not allow those lies to become the foundation of your future. Lift your eyes toward me. Listen carefully to my voice above every other voice competing for your attention. The days ahead will require discernment more than emotion, obedience more than comfort, and faith more than certainty. This is why I am calling you closer today, not because I wish to burden you, but because I desire to prepare you. I am inviting you into a deeper relationship where fear loses its power, where truth becomes your foundation, and where my presence becomes the place your heart learns to rest. My child, this message is only the beginning. There are things I must reveal that will change the way you understand your past, your present, and the future I have prepared for you. Stay with me, open your heart completely. Lay aside every distraction and every fear. What I am about to show you could become the turning point that changes the direction of your life forever. My child, there is something I need you to understand before you can step into what I have prepared for you. The warning I am giving you today is not about the end of hope. It is about the beginning of awakening. Many people hear the word warning and immediately think of punishment, but my heart has never desired to destroy those who are willing to listen. My desire has always been to rescue, to restore, and to lead my children back to the place where they belong. Every warning I have ever spoken has carried my mercy within it, because I always give an opportunity to return before consequences arrive. Look around the world and you will see people running faster than ever before, yet few know where they are truly going. They spend years building lives that appear successful on the outside while their hearts slowly become empty within. They search for happiness in possessions, in recognition, and in the approval of people who cannot give lasting peace. They have forgotten that everything this world offers is temporary, but everything I give is eternal. That is why so many feel exhausted even after achieving what they once dreamed about. They have gained what they wanted, but they have lost what they truly needed. My child, do not allow yourself to follow the same path. I created you for something greater than simply surviving each day. I did not breathe life into you so you could spend your years chasing things that disappear with time. I created you to know me, to walk with me, and to become a light in places filled with darkness. Every gift I placed inside you was designed to reveal my goodness to a world that has forgotten where true hope comes from. Never measure your life only by what you own, but by how closely your heart remains connected to mine. There are moments when I allow the things you depend on to be shaken. I do not do this to harm you. I do it because I love you. Anything that can be taken away was never meant to become your foundation. If your peace depends upon money, circumstances, or the opinions of people, then your peace will disappear the moment those things change. But if your peace is rooted in me, no storm will be able to steal it. This is why I have been teaching you to trust me even during seasons when nothing seemed certain. Faith that grows only during easy days cannot stand when difficult days arrive. Perhaps you have wondered why some relationships ended without warning. You questioned why people you loved suddenly became distant. You asked why doors you prayed for remained closed while others seemed to walk through opportunities with little effort. I heard every question, and I never became offended by your honesty. I know your heart. I know you were searching for understanding, not complaining against me. There are answers that only time can reveal, but there is one truth I want you to hold tightly today. I have never removed something from your life without preparing something better, according to my perfect will. Some people left because they could not continue the journey I had planned for you. Some opportunities disappeared because success in those places would have taken you away from your true purpose. Some dreams had to die because they were too small compared to the future I was preparing. You saw rejection, I saw protection. You saw delay. I saw preparation. You saw an ending. I was already writing a new beginning. The enemy wanted you to believe that every disappointment proved I had forgotten you. He wanted your unanswered questions to become seeds of doubt. He hoped that if he repeated the same lies long enough, you would eventually accept them as truth. That has always been his strategy. He cannot change my promises, so he attempts to change what you believe about my promises. He cannot remove my calling from your life, so he tries to convince you that you were never called. He cannot stop my plan, so he works to stop your faith. Do not listen to those lies any longer. I have watched every step you have taken, even when you believed you were walking alone. I counted every tear that fell in secret. I heard every prayer spoken through trembling lips. I saw every act of kindness that no one appreciated. I saw every sacrifice made without recognition. Nothing has escaped my sight. The world may overlook what you have done, but I never do. Heaven keeps a record of faithfulness that no human eye can see. My child, I am calling you into a season of greater discernment. Not everything that appears good comes from me. Not every opportunity is an assignment. Not every voice deserves your attention. There are distractions that look harmless but slowly pull the heart away from my presence. This is why you must learn to recognize my voice above every other voice. The closer you walk with me, the easier it becomes to recognize what belongs to me and what does not. In the days ahead, you will be asked to make decisions that will shape the direction of your future. Do not rush because others are moving quickly. Do not compare your journey with theirs. I am not leading everyone along the same path. I know where I am taking you, and I know the exact timing required for every step. Trust me enough to wait when I tell you to wait. Move when I tell you to move. Remain still when I tell you to remain still. Obedience has always opened doors that human effort could never unlock. Remember this truth, my child. I never ask you to trust me without first proving myself faithful. Look back over your life. There were seasons when you thought you would never recover. Yet here you are. There were burdens you believed would crush you, yet you are still standing. There were battles you were certain would defeat you, yet I carried you through every one of them. The same hands that held you then are holding you now. I have not changed. My love has not changed. My promises have not changed. The warning has begun because the time for drifting is coming to an end. I am calling my children to wake up, to return to my presence, and to stop living as though tomorrow is guaranteed. Every day is a gift. Every breath is an opportunity to draw closer to me. Do not waste the season I have placed before you. Open your heart while my voice is still calling. Choose truth while it is still being offered. Choose faith before fear attempts to take its place. Stay with me, my child. What I am about to reveal next will help you understand why the battles you have faced were never random, and why the greatest breakthrough of your life often begins after the greatest testing of your faith, my child. There is a reason the battles you have faced have felt different from the struggles of those around you. There were times when you looked at other people and wondered why life seemed easier for them. You questioned why they moved forward while you remained in seasons of waiting. You wondered why your prayers appeared to take longer to answer. I heard every one of those questions and I never turned away from them. I understand the weariness that comes from hoping for something that seems just beyond your reach. I understand how easily the heart can become discouraged when the journey lasts longer than expected. But what you could not see was that I was accomplishing something far greater than simply changing your circumstances. I was changing you. The greatest work I have ever done in the lives of my people has never begun on the outside. It has always begun within the heart. Before I entrusted David with a kingdom, I shaped his character in lonely fields where no crowd applauded him. Before Joseph stood before kings, I allowed him to pass through betrayal, slavery, and prison until pride had no place left in his heart. Before Moses led a nation, he spent years learning humility in the wilderness. The preparation was never a punishment. It was the foundation that allowed them to carry the responsibility I had prepared for them. The same has been true in your life. There were moments when you believed nothing was happening because nothing around you appeared to change. Yet every day I was strengthening your patience. I was teaching you perseverance. I was helping you discover that your confidence must rest in me rather than in circumstances that can change overnight. Every delay carried a lesson. Every closed door protected you from something you did not yet understand. Every disappointment became another opportunity for your faith to grow deeper than your feelings. The enemy wanted you to interpret every difficult season as evidence that I had abandoned you. He whispered that your prayers were unheard and that your waiting was meaningless. He hoped discouragement would slowly replace trust until you chose to walk away from the purpose I had prepared for you. That has always been his strategy. He knows he cannot steal what I have promised, but he hopes he can convince you to surrender it yourself. He wants you to stop believing one day before your breakthrough arrives. He wants you to quit while heaven is already preparing the answer. My child, never judge my faithfulness by what you can see in a single moment. When a farmer plants seed beneath the soil, nothing appears to happen for many days. Yet beneath the surface, life is already forming. Roots are growing where no human eye can see them. If the farmer became impatient and dug up the seed every morning to check its progress, he would destroy the very thing he hoped to harvest. In the same way, many people interrupt the work I am doing because they refuse to trust what they cannot yet see. They ask for immediate proof while I am building something that will last for years. I have never been interested in giving you temporary success that disappears with the next storm. My desire is to establish your life upon a foundation that cannot be shaken. Storms will come, difficult seasons will still exist. People will still disappoint you, circumstances will still change. But the one who walks closely with me will discover that peace does not depend upon perfect conditions. Peace comes from knowing that I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. There is another truth I want you to understand. The pressure you have experienced has not been evidence that you are weak. Very often, pressure reveals the strength that was already growing inside you. Gold is refined through fire because fire separates what is valuable from what is worthless. In the same way, every challenge has been separating fear from faith, pride from humility, and dependence upon the world from dependence upon me. The process has not been easy, but neither has it been without purpose. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. You have asked me many times why certain prayers remained unanswered. Sometimes the answer you expected would have satisfied a temporary desire while delaying an eternal purpose. You asked me to remove mountains, but I was teaching you how to climb them. You asked for easier circumstances while I was building greater strength within your spirit. You asked me to shorten the journey, but I was preparing you for a destination that required a stronger heart than the one you had when you first began. Had I answered every prayer exactly as you requested, you would have received what you wanted, but missed what you truly needed. My child, I know the waiting has been long. I know there were mornings when hope felt difficult and nights when fear seemed louder than faith. Yet you continued walking, even when your steps became slow, you did not completely stop. Even when your strength felt small, you still reached for me. That faith has never gone unnoticed. Heaven celebrates every act of trust that the world cannot see. Every quiet decision to remain faithful has become part of the story I am writing through your life. Now I tell you this because the season before you will require greater confidence than ever before. You cannot carry yesterday's fears into tomorrow's calling. You cannot continue believing the lies that once kept you trapped. The identity I have given you is stronger than every accusation spoken against you. You are not defined by your failures. You are not limited by your past. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You belong to me, and no circumstance has the authority to change that truth. Lift your eyes above the temporary struggles surrounding you. What you see today is not the final chapter of your story. I have already gone before you. I have already prepared what you cannot yet imagine. The path may still seem uncertain from where you stand, but it is completely visible from where I stand. Trust my vision when your own understanding falls short. Trust my timing when your heart grows impatient. Trust my promises even before you see them fulfilled. My child, the warning I have given you is not meant to cause fear. It is an invitation to draw closer than ever before, because those who remain near me will never walk through the coming days alone. My presence will guide them. My wisdom will strengthen them. My peace will guard them. My truth will become the light that leads every step they take. Stay with me because what I am about to reveal next is the reason so many people miss the very blessings they have spent years praying to receive. It is not because I refuse to answer them. It is because they failed to recognize the answer when it arrived, my child. There is a reason many people spend years praying for change yet fail to recognize it when it finally arrives. They expect my answers to look exactly like their expectations. They imagine that every blessing will come with certainty, comfort, and immediate understanding. But I have never worked according to human expectations. My ways have always been higher than your ways, and my thoughts have always reached further than human understanding. Many times I answer prayers by giving opportunities instead of immediate results. I open a door, but you must choose whether you will walk through it. I place the right people along your path, but you must decide whether you will trust my guidance. I provide wisdom, but you must be willing to obey it even when obedience feels uncomfortable. My answers often begin as invitations. Those who are listening recognize them. Those who are distracted walk past them without realizing what they have missed. There were moments in your life when I quietly redirected your path. You believed you were experiencing failure because your plans did not succeed. Yet if you could see your life from my perspective, you would understand that those moments protected you from roads that would have led far away from your purpose. There are blessings I withheld because they would have strengthened your comfort instead of your calling. There are successes I delayed because they would have arrived before your character was ready to carry them. My timing has never been random. Every season has been measured with perfect wisdom. Do not allow impatience to steal what faith has been building. The enemy understands that if he cannot convince you to abandon your purpose, he will try to convince you to rush ahead of my timing. He knows that people who move without seeking my direction often create battles that I never asked them to fight. This is why waiting has become so difficult for many. The world celebrates speed, but my kingdom values obedience. The world rewards appearance, but I search the heart. The world encourages independence, but I bless those who remain dependent upon me. My child, there is a quiet confidence I desire to build within you. It is not the confidence that comes from personal achievement or human approval. It is the confidence that grows when you know I am walking beside you. This confidence remains steady whether circumstances improve or become more difficult. It does not disappear when criticism comes. It is not shaken when opportunities seem delayed. It rests securely because it is anchored in my unchanging character rather than changing situations. You have spent too much time questioning whether you are enough. You have measured yourself against people whose journey was never meant to resemble yours. You have allowed comparison to rob you of joy and gratitude. Comparison has caused many of my children to overlook the unique calling I placed upon their own lives. They become so focused on another person's assignment that they neglect the work I prepared specifically for them. Remember this always. I never compare my children. I created each one with purpose, and every purpose carries value in my kingdom. The gifts I have given you are not accidents. The compassion you carry, the wisdom you have gained through suffering, the ability to encourage others, the desire to seek truth, none of these appeared by chance. They have been shaped through every season you have lived. Even the painful chapters have become part of your preparation. The wounds that once caused you to question my goodness have become places where my grace now shines most clearly. One day you will comfort someone who is standing where you once stood, and they will find hope because they see what I have done in your life. Do not despise the quiet seasons. The world often celebrates what is visible, but I accomplish many of my greatest works in hidden places. A tree grows strongest where no one can see its roots. A diamond forms under pressure deep beneath the earth. A child develops in the hidden place long before entering the world. In the same way, I have been strengthening your spirit in places where no applause could distract you. What grows in secret will eventually become visible to everyone, but only because it was first established where only I could see it. The warning I have given you today is also a call to examine your heart. Ask yourself what has become more important than my presence. Ask yourself what occupies your thoughts more than my truth. Ask yourself whether your greatest desire is to know me more deeply or simply to receive what my hand can provide. These are not questions to condemn you. They are invitations to bring your heart back into alignment with mine. Whenever my children seek me above everything else, they discover that the blessings they once chased begin to find them according to my perfect timing. My child, I am not calling you into a life without challenges. I am calling you into a life where challenges no longer have authority over your peace. Storms may still rise around you, but they do not have to rise within you. Fear may knock at the door of your mind, but it does not have to be welcomed into your heart. The circumstances around you do not determine the condition of your spirit, my presence does. As you continue forward, remember that every day presents a choice. You may choose fear or faith. You may choose distraction or devotion. You may choose to believe the voice of the world or the voice of the one who created you. Every decision shapes the direction of your heart. This is why I continue calling you back to my presence. Everything you truly need will be found there. My wisdom will guide you. My spirit will strengthen you. My truth will protect you from deception that many fail to recognize until it has already taken hold. The days ahead will reveal many things. Some foundations will remain strong, while others will collapse. Some people will continue chasing temporary security, while others will discover everlasting peace. I want you to stand among those whose hearts remain unshaken, because they have chosen to build their lives upon my word. That foundation cannot be destroyed by uncertainty, disappointment, or fear. It has stood through every generation, and it will continue to stand long after every earthly kingdom has passed away. Remain close to me, my child. What I am about to reveal next is one of the greatest deceptions that keeps people from experiencing the fullness of the life I have prepared for them. Understanding this truth will change the way you see every battle, every opportunity, and every decision from this day forward, my child. One of the greatest deceptions of this generation is not that people no longer believe I exist. It is that many believe they can walk through life without remaining close to me. They acknowledge me with their words, yet they depend upon themselves with their hearts. They seek my blessings but neglect my presence. They ask for my direction only after they have already chosen their own path. This is not the life I called you to live. I did not create you to visit my presence only when you feel desperate. I created you to walk with me every day, in every decision, through every season, because that is where true life is found. There is a difference between knowing about me and truly knowing me. Many have heard my word for years, yet they have never allowed it to transform the way they think, the way they speak, or the way they live. Information alone has never changed a heart. Only surrender can do that. You can fill your mind with knowledge and still remain far from me if your heart refuses to trust me. This is why I am calling you deeper. I do not want a small place in your life. I desire to become the foundation upon which every part of your life is built. The warning I have given you today is an invitation to examine where your confidence truly rests. When uncertainty appears, where do your thoughts run first? When fear begins to whisper, whose voice becomes louder in your mind? When unexpected changes come, do you immediately believe that everything is falling apart? Or do you remember that I remain seated upon the throne? These questions reveal far more than your words ever could. They reveal where your trust has been placed. My child, I know you have experienced disappointment. I know there were moments when people made promises they never intended to keep. I know there were times when those you trusted failed you. And because of those experiences, you became cautious about trusting again. But do not allow the failures of people to shape the way you see me. Human love is imperfect. Human strength is limited. Human faithfulness often changes with circumstances. My love does not change. My promises do not expire. My faithfulness has never depended upon human behavior. What I begin, I complete. What I promise, I fulfill according to my perfect wisdom. There have been seasons when I appeared to be silent, yet even during those moments I was working in ways your eyes could not perceive. You often look for visible evidence before you believe I am moving, but my greatest works frequently begin where human vision cannot reach. Consider the roots of a mighty tree. They grow downward long before the branches stretch upward. The deeper the roots become, the stronger the tree stands when powerful winds arrive. In the same way, I have been strengthening your faith beneath the surface. Others may not see the change yet, but heaven sees it clearly. Do not become discouraged because your progress appears slower than someone else's. I am not writing the same story for every person. Some journeys require longer preparation because the assignment I have prepared carries greater responsibility. Never mistake a longer season of preparation for rejection. Sometimes the delay itself is evidence that I am building something that will endure for generations rather than something that fades within a moment. The enemy wants you to become impatient because impatience clouds discernment. When people grow tired of waiting, they often accept opportunities I never intended for them. They settle for temporary comfort instead of eternal purpose. They exchange my peace for quick solutions. They believe any open door must come from me, forgetting that not every opportunity leads toward my will. This is why discernment has become one of the greatest gifts you can seek in these days. Ask me for wisdom before every important decision. Ask me to reveal what your natural eyes cannot see. I delight in guiding those who sincerely desire to follow my voice. My child, remember that every warning I give is rooted in love. I do not speak because I desire to frighten you. I speak because I desire to protect you. A loving father warns his child before danger arrives. A caring shepherd guides the sheep away from places where harm is waiting. In the same way, I am leading you toward life even when the path I choose appears more difficult than the road everyone else is taking. The easiest road is not always the safest road. The most popular direction is not always the direction that leads to peace. You have reached a moment in your journey where you must decide which voice will shape your future. The world will continue offering countless opinions. Fear will continue presenting endless possibilities of failure. The enemy will continue reminding you of every mistake you have ever made. But my voice continues speaking something greater. I remind you of who you are rather than who you were. I remind you of my promises rather than your past. I remind you that your identity is not built upon your failures, but upon my grace. My child, lift your eyes once more. The road before you may still contain challenges, but you will not walk it alone. I will go before you to prepare the way. I will remain beside you to strengthen your heart. I will stand behind you as your protector. There is no place you can go where my presence cannot reach you. There is no valley so deep that my hand cannot lift you. There is no darkness so great that my light cannot overcome it. Continue listening with an open heart, because what I am about to reveal next is the promise that follows every warning I have spoken. I never call my children to prepare without also preparing a future filled with hope. What I am about to tell you will remind you why your faith has never been in vain, and why the greatest work I am doing in your life is only beginning. My child, after every season of testing comes a season of revealing. There is a reason I have asked you to remain faithful when so much around you seemed uncertain. Faithfulness has never been measured by how you respond when everything is going well. It is revealed by how you continue walking when the road becomes difficult, when the answers seem delayed, and when no one else understands the weight you are carrying. Every step you have taken in obedience has been seen by me. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been overlooked. There were moments when you believed your quiet faithfulness made no difference, because no one applauded your sacrifice. You wondered whether your prayers mattered when nothing appeared to change. You questioned whether your obedience was accomplishing anything when others who ignored my voice seemed to move ahead more quickly. My child, never believe that what is hidden from the world is hidden from heaven. The greatest victories are often born in places where only I can see them. Long before anyone recognizes the fruit of your life, I have already been celebrating the faith growing within your heart. I am not preparing you for an ordinary season. I am preparing you for a season that will require greater spiritual maturity than ever before. There will be opportunities that seem impossible according to human understanding. There will be conversations that open doors no effort could have unlocked. There will be moments when you realize that what you once considered impossible has quietly become reality. When those moments arrive, remember that they did not begin on the day you saw them. They began during the hidden seasons when you continued trusting me without visible evidence. The world often believes success happens overnight, but my kingdom rarely works that way. Before the harvest comes the planting. Before the celebration comes the preparation. Before promotion comes humility. I do not rush the process because I love you too much to give you what your character is not yet ready to carry. Blessings without wisdom become burdens. Influence without humility becomes pride. Opportunity without discernment becomes distraction. This is why I have invested so much time in strengthening your foundation before increasing your responsibility. My child, I know there are still questions you carry. There are prayers that remain unanswered in your understanding. There are dreams you once held that now seem distant. Bring those questions to me without fear. I am not offended by sincere hearts seeking understanding. What I ask is that you do not allow unanswered questions to become reasons for unbelief. Trust that my perspective reaches beyond what your eyes can currently see. You see today's uncertainty, but I see tomorrow's purpose. You see the closed door, but I see the danger behind it. You see the waiting, but I see the perfect moment that has already been appointed. Do not allow disappointment to define your expectations for the future. Too many people carry yesterday's pain into today's opportunities. They expect every relationship to end in betrayal because one person wounded them. They expect every opportunity to fail because one dream did not succeed. They expect silence because they have forgotten how often I have already spoken. My child, do not let your past become the lens through which you interpret my future. I am doing a new work, and new work requires a heart that is willing to believe again. There is something I want you to remember whenever fear begins to speak. Fear always focuses on what could go wrong. Faith remembers who remains in control. Fear magnifies uncertainty. Faith magnifies my promises. Fear convinces you to stand still when I am asking you to move forward. Faith gives you the courage to take one more step even when you cannot yet see the destination. You do not need to know every detail of the journey. You only need to know the one who is leading you. I have never asked my children to walk by sight. I have always invited them to walk by faith. The warning I have spoken today is also an invitation to renew your trust. Lay down every burden you were never meant to carry alone. Release every fear that has stolen your peace. Stop measuring your future according to your past. Lift your eyes above your circumstances and fix them upon me. My promises have not weakened because the world has become uncertain. My power has not diminished because challenges have increased. I remain the same God who opened seas, who sustained my people in the wilderness, who calmed storms with a word, and who raised hope where everyone else expected defeat. My child, the days ahead will reveal my faithfulness in ways you have never experienced before. There will be moments when you look back and finally understand why certain doors had to close. You will see why some prayers required waiting. You will recognize that my delays were protecting you from paths that would never have led to peace. On that day, you will not regret trusting me. You will be grateful that I saw what you could not see. So remain faithful a little longer. Continue praying even when the answer has not yet appeared. Continue believing even when circumstances attempt to persuade you otherwise. Continue choosing truth over fear and obedience over convenience. Every act of faith is preparing you for what is coming next. My child, stay close to me because there is one final truth I must place within your heart before this message comes to its conclusion. It is the truth that has carried my people through every generation, through every trial, and through every impossible situation. Once you truly understand it, fear will no longer have the final word over your life. My child, there is one truth I want you to carry with you long after this message comes to an end. I have never abandoned those who place their trust in me. There have been generations before you who faced uncertainty, hardship, persecution, and seasons that seemed impossible to overcome. Yet through every trial, my faithfulness remained unchanged. Kingdoms rose and kingdoms fell. Nations changed. Leaders came and went. The world continued to shift beneath their feet. But my promises stood firm because my word does not depend upon the circumstances of the earth. My word is established forever. The world will always give you reasons to be afraid. Every day there will be another headline, another crisis, another uncertainty that attempts to capture your attention. Fear has become one of the enemy's greatest tools because a fearful heart struggles to hear my voice clearly. When your thoughts become consumed by worry, it becomes difficult to recognize the peace I am offering. This is why I continually call you back into my presence. Peace is not found by escaping every problem. Peace is found by remaining close to me while the problems pass around you. Do not believe the lie that you must have everything figured out before you take your next step. Many people delay obedience because they are waiting for complete certainty. They believe they need every answer before they move. But faith has never worked that way. Noah began building before he saw the rain. Abraham left his homeland before he knew his destination. Peter stepped out of the boat before he knew how long the water would hold him. They moved because they trusted my voice more than what their eyes could see. I am asking the same of you today. Trust me with the next step. Do not allow the size of tomorrow to keep you from obeying me today. I rarely reveal the entire journey because if I did, you would depend upon the map instead of depending upon me. I desire relationship more than routine. I desire trust more than certainty. Every step of obedience strengthens the bond between your heart and mine. My child, you have spent enough time looking behind you. The mistakes of your past no longer have authority over your future unless you continue giving them permission. I have already offered forgiveness where you have confessed. I have already extended mercy where you have returned to me. Stop carrying burdens that I have already removed. Stop reopening wounds that I have already begun healing. The enemy constantly reminds you of who you used to be because he fears who you are becoming. Every time you accept his accusations, you delay your own freedom, but every time you choose my truth, another chain falls away. I want you to begin seeing yourself through my eyes. I do not see a person defeated by failure. I see a child who continued standing after every storm. I do not see someone disqualified because of weakness. I see someone who has learned to depend upon my strength. I do not see someone forgotten by heaven. I see someone whose name has always remained before me. Long before anyone recognized your value, I knew your purpose. Long before anyone believed in you, I had already called you by name. There are people I am preparing to bring into your life. Some will encourage you, some will challenge you, some will help you discover gifts that have remained hidden for years. Pray for discernment as these new relationships begin to appear. Not everyone who enters your life will remain, but those I send will strengthen your walk with me rather than distract you from it. Do not cling to those who continually pull your heart away from my presence. I never remove something without preparing room for something better according to my will. There are also opportunities approaching that will require courage. You may feel unqualified when they arrive. You may wonder whether someone else would be more capable. Remember that I have never chosen people because they believed they were sufficient. I have always chosen those who were willing to depend upon me. My power has always been displayed most clearly through willing hearts rather than perfect people. Do not reject what I am placing before you simply because it feels larger than your present ability. If I have called you, I will also strengthen you, my child. Continue protecting your heart from bitterness. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never happened. Forgiveness means releasing the burden of revenge into my hands and allowing me to heal what others have broken. Bitterness quietly steals joy, peace, and spiritual clarity. It convinces people they are protecting themselves when in reality they are imprisoning their own hearts. I do not want you living in that prison any longer. Place every hurt before me. Trust me to bring justice in my time and healing in my way. The days ahead will require hearts that remain soft even while the world grows harder. Let compassion continue flowing through you. Let kindness remain stronger than anger. Let truth always be spoken with love. Never become so focused on being right that you forget to reflect my character. The people around you are not simply watching your words. They are watching your life. Many will recognize me not through what you say, but through how faithfully you love, forgive, serve, and remain steadfast when life becomes difficult. My child, the warning has been spoken, but the promise remains greater than the warning. I have gone before you. I am walking beside you. I will remain behind you as your protector. There is no season you will ever enter without my presence already waiting there. Trust me with all that lies ahead. Continue seeking my voice above every other voice. Continue choosing faith over fear. Continue walking one step at a time. The greatest testimony of your life is not behind you. It is still unfolding, and I will complete everything I have begun in you. Stay with me, because before we finish, I want to speak a blessing over your life, your family, your future, and every promise that I have placed within your heart. That blessing is not based upon your perfection. It is based upon my faithfulness, and my faithfulness never fails. My child, before this message comes to its end, there is one final invitation I want to place before your heart. Every day you wake up, you stand before two paths. One path is shaped by fear, distraction, and the endless pressure to live according to the expectations of the world. The other path is shaped by faith, surrender, and the quiet confidence that comes from walking beside me. You cannot walk both paths at the same time. Every decision you make moves you closer to one and farther from the other. That is why I am asking you today to choose me again, not only with your words, but with your life. I am not asking for perfection because I already know your weaknesses. I know the places where you still struggle. I know the habits you are trying to overcome. I know the questions that still remain unanswered. None of these things surprise me. I loved you before you understood my love. I called you before you knew my name. I chose you before you believed you were worthy to be chosen. My love has never depended upon your perfection. It has always been rooted in my grace. Do not allow guilt to keep you away from me. Guilt that leads you back into my presence brings healing, but shame that tells you to hide from me has never come from my spirit. From the very beginning, the enemy has tried to convince people to hide after they have fallen. I have always been the one calling them back. I called Adam in the garden. I restored Peter after his failure. I welcomed the prodigal son home with open arms. My heart has never changed whenever you return to me with sincerity. You will always find mercy waiting before you arrive. My child, the future does not belong to fear. The future belongs to those who continue trusting me when they cannot yet see the whole picture. There will always be reasons to worry if you choose to focus on the uncertainty around you. There will always be voices predicting darkness and hopelessness. But I have not called you to live according to the predictions of fear. I have called you to live according to my promises. My promises are stronger than the opinions of the world. They are stronger than the circumstances surrounding you. They are stronger than every plan the enemy has formed against you. As you leave this moment and continue your journey, do not leave my presence behind. Carry my word within your heart. Let it guide your decisions. Let it shape your thoughts. Let it become the foundation beneath every dream, every relationship, and every step you take. There will be moments when you feel uncertain again. There will be days when old fears try to return. When those moments come, remember what I have spoken to you today. Return to my presence before you return to your worries. Return to prayer before you return to panic. Return to truth before you listen to fear. My child, I am already standing in the tomorrow that concerns you today. Nothing you will face has taken me by surprise. I have already seen every conversation, every opportunity, every challenge, and every victory that awaits you. I will not abandon you halfway through your journey. I will not stop leading you because the road becomes difficult. My hand remains stretched toward you. Take hold of it every morning. Walk with me every evening. Let every ordinary day become another opportunity to know me more deeply. Do not underestimate the power of small acts of obedience. A quiet prayer offered with sincerity can change the direction of an entire life. A single decision to forgive can release years of hidden pain. One moment of trusting me instead of fear can open doors that human strength could never unlock. My kingdom has always grown from what appears small in the eyes of the world. Never despise the little steps of faith, because they often become the beginning of miracles that only heaven could have planned. I want your heart to remain watchful but not fearful. Remain alert but not anxious. Remain prepared but not troubled. The warning I have given you today was never meant to fill your heart with dread. It was meant to awaken your spirit and draw you closer to me. Those who remain close to me have nothing to fear, because my presence becomes their refuge, my wisdom becomes their guide, and my peace becomes their strength. My child, I bless you today with wisdom that rises above confusion. I bless you with courage that overcomes fear. I bless you with discernment that recognizes truth in a world filled with deception. I bless your home with peace, your family with protection, your work with purpose, and your heart with renewed hope. May your faith continue growing stronger with every season. May your eyes remain fixed upon me even when the world around you changes. May your life become a testimony of my goodness so that others will discover hope, because they have seen what I have done through you. Never forget this truth. You are not walking into the future alone. I am already there. I am preparing the way before you. I am strengthening you for every challenge. I am providing what you need before you even know to ask. Trust me with all your heart. Continue following my voice above every other voice. Continue choosing faith over fear, truth over deception, and my presence over every distraction this world offers. My child, this is not the end of my conversation with you. It is only the beginning of a deeper walk together. Every morning my mercy will meet you again. Every evening my faithfulness will remain beside you. Keep listening, keep believing, keep walking with me. The greatest chapter of your story is still being written, and I will remain faithful until every promise I have spoken over your life has been fulfilled. If these words have settled deeply within your heart today, do not let them remain only as something you heard. Let them become the way you live. Trust me, follow me. Remain with me. I am with you always, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. My child, before you leave this moment, I want you to become still with me once more. Set aside every distraction for just a little while longer. Let the worries of this day become quiet. Let the questions that have filled your mind rest for a moment. You do not need to solve everything today. You do not need to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Simply remain here with me. Take a slow breath and remember that I am closer than you realize. I have never been far from you. Even during the seasons when my presence felt distant, I was walking beside you. Even when your prayers seemed to echo into silence, I was listening. Even when your strength was nearly gone, my hand continued holding yours. There has never been a single day when my love stopped surrounding your life. Today I ask you to release every burden you have continued carrying by yourself. Give me the fears that have stolen your sleep. Give me the disappointments that still weigh upon your heart. Give me every unanswered question that has caused you to doubt my timing. You were never created to carry these things alone. I am your refuge. I am your strength. I am your peace in every storm. Do not allow regret to follow you into tomorrow. The past has already taught you what it needed to teach. There is no reason to continue living inside moments that can no longer be changed. Learn from them, grow through them, then leave them behind. Your future is not waiting behind you. It is waiting before you, and I am already preparing the path that your feet will soon walk. My child, forgive those who wounded you. I know forgiveness is not easy. I know some wounds still ache whenever you remember them. I am not asking you to pretend those wounds never existed. I am asking you to trust me with justice so that your heart can finally become free. The chains of bitterness have held too many of my children in places where I never intended them to remain. Today I invite you to lay those chains at my feet. I will heal what others damaged. I will restore what others tried to destroy. Receive my peace now. Not the temporary peace the world offers, but the peace that remains even when circumstances have not yet changed. Let that peace settle deeply within your heart. Let it guard your thoughts. Let it become stronger than every fearful voice that has spoken against your future. Fear cannot remain where my peace is welcomed. I also ask you to renew your hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is confident expectation that I will remain faithful to every promise I have spoken. The enemy wants your future to look dark because he knows hope gives strength to keep moving forward. But I tell you today that your hope has not been misplaced. Every prayer offered in faith has been heard. Every tear shed in sincerity has been seen. Every act of obedience has been remembered. Nothing given to me is ever wasted. My child, as you continue walking through the days ahead, remember that my Spirit will continue speaking, sometimes through my word, sometimes through quiet moments of prayer, sometimes through the wisdom of those I place around you. Remain attentive. Keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit teachable. Those who continue seeking me will never lack direction because I delight in leading those who trust me. I bless your mind with clarity. I bless your heart with courage. I bless your home with peace. I bless your family with protection. I bless your hands with strength for every task before you. I bless your spirit with unwavering faith that refuses to surrender no matter how difficult the road becomes. May every lie spoken against your identity lose its power. May every fear that has tried to control your decisions be replaced with confidence in my promises. May every door I have prepared open at the appointed time. May every distraction that seeks to lead you away from my purpose lose its influence over your life. My child, remember this above everything else. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Nothing in your past can separate you from my mercy. Nothing in your present can limit my power. Nothing in your future can prevent my plans when you continue walking with me. Trust me one day at a time. Follow me one step at a time. Keep your eyes upon me one moment at a time. The warning has been spoken. The invitation has been given. The decision now rests within your heart. Choose faith over fear. Choose truth over deception. Choose my presence over every distraction this world places before you. If you do, you will discover that I have been leading you all along, and you will never walk alone. Remain with me, my child. The greatest days of your spiritual journey are still ahead, and my faithfulness will never fail you. Amen.